This is an ordinary fear gathering, and the hustle and bustle of Amber Street that we're most familiar with. Through equivalent exchange, you all became my slaves long ago. Do you get it now? No matter what everyone is busy with, they'll eventually pay the price to me. I'll be the one that governs all. Yeah, you're the one that governs all. So, the divine retribution of the zodiac is truly tailored for you. Venerable Seven Shoes, unite as the one law. Pathetic. My dear collaborator, you call this a divine retribution. Seems like you've misunderstood something. I'm the shrew of deception. The rite of tears doesn't seem to require anyone else's assistance. No bread for you! Stop running, you liar! Don't you run away! I remember that. I used to be chicken-hearted as a child. Even becoming one of the seven shrews was just for the sake of food. But how should I put it? Wait, you... I told you. This is truly tailored for you. Sorry, and perception. You seem to fear death just like me. The story of Langqiu was about to come to an end. The loneliness spanning a century will finally draw to its own conclusion. And before that, as the embodiment of time, you should perhaps hear a conversation that belongs solely to this moment.
师傅
Master, before Miss
在登
Lantern
景
and
和
I
咱出发之
depart,
前，咱可以单独
can I ask you another
再请
question
教
in
你一件事
private?
吗？
当然，
Of
我们
course.
去那边说吧。
Let's talk over there. Sorry, Safari.
抱歉，
It
沙弗莱，
seems me and my
在下的
disciple
徒
has
儿
some personal
看来
matters to
还有一
attend
些私
to.
事。
It's
老师
fine. Go ahead.
你们聊吧。
这里应当是个僻静
This
之
should
处。
be a secluded place.
宋雀，
What do you want to tell me?
你想对为师说什么？
师傅，
Master, you haven't
你对
fully
寻梦者
explained
他们
everything to Entropy and the
并
others,
没有
have
把话
you?
说全，对吗？哎呀，真是的！
Why do you excel at
你让
everything,
人家干什
except
么
for the
都是
art
出
of
类拔
deceit
萃，
and falsehood,
却唯独
just
不
like
通着
me?
妄言扯谎的门道呢？倒是和咱一样。
What do you mean?
和解。
师傅又何必揣着明白装糊涂
Master, why are
呢
you？
重
pretending not to
新整合
understand?
起点。
Reintegrating the singularity. It
但
may
哪怕有
sound
这100
easy,
年来厌恶
but
们积
there's
蓄的
no
力量，
guarantee of
哪怕当
success.
时登景和咱大幅削弱了绝的化身，那也不能担保必定成功吧？毕竟师傅您自己
You also
当年
play
就玩
things
脱
too
了。
recklessly back then.
天罚若是不中，
If the divine retribution misses,
那也是命中
then
如
it's
此。
meant to
这可不
be.
对吧？如果当
That's
我们
not
发现
right.
师傅口
If
中
we
的天
find
罚
out
也
that
不能保
even
证
your
将
divine
绝，
retribution
将
can't
你中
guarantee
意
the
之彻底
complete
消灭，
eradication of
又或
perception,
者
or if
如
Lantern
果
and
登
I
景和咱
can
根本就
weaken
没
its
法削弱他们的化
incarnation.
身，如果事情变成了这样，
If
咱
things
们
turn
想
out
法
that
子
way, maybe we can come
到底
up
还
with
有一个
another
吧。
solution. Her bright eyes stared at her master without blinking, leaving him momentarily perplexed. He couldn't discern what kind of answer those eyes were expecting.
宋雀，为师已下定决心，
I've decided
放
to
弃一类
abandon
之
the
意。
right of tears.
如今，
Now,
无论此番
regardless
决
of
战
the
将迎来
outcome
何
of
种
this
结果，
decisive battle, I have no
无怨无
regrets.
悔。
The same goes for the rest of the truths.
其余诸术也是如此。
师傅或许可以意气用事，
Maybe you can act on impulse, but
咱廊丘的百姓，
what about the
那些
people
无
of
法前往欧夏
Langqiu?
的普通人，
Those ordinary folks
他们
who
真的有
can't
无
reach
怨无悔？
Axia. Are they truly without regrets? Earlier, you mentioned
师傅刚
that
才
I
说
should take your place in the
要
final
徒儿代
act.
替您去收
Does that
官，
not include them?
言下之意，难道不包括这些？
不必担心，宋雀。
Don't worry, Songque. After
有
a
100年的
century,
时光，
and with the support
同
of
根
our
的友人
kindred friends
可以向来客
and
助
foreign
力，
visitors, we'll definitely cleanse the
这一次
shadow calamity this time.
我们定能浮出影灾。至于由你代表七术，
As for
一时
you
心之还残片一
representing
时，
the seven shrews and wielding the astral ring
那
fragment,
纯粹是因为
it's purely because,
如同色拉
like
佩姆和瑟利姆
Sahapam
那
and
样，
Thelema, after
自
the
塑
rite
心
of
之役过
shaping,
后，
my power
为师的
has
力
been
量
steadily
也在一
dwindling.
刻不停的流失。与你不同，
Unlike you,
不久之
I'll
后，
soon become an ordinary human with no
为师就
special
将成为一
abilities.
介凡人，毫无特殊之处。
师傅，
Master,
等等，
wait a
这还是
moment.
不对。
This still isn't right.
万一呢？万一
What
最后
if-
大家还是提不过
What
眼
if
中
in
一
the
致？
end we can't
难道咱
overcome
们
the
就一
will
点
of
后退也不
shadow
留？
and we have no countermeasures? If things go
如若
awry,
事情真有
we'll
差
just
池，
come up with
那
another
便再
plan.
寻对策。
大影子可不会干等着咱
The
们想法子
shadows
对
won't
付
wait
他。
for us to
不是
figure
吗
out how to deal with them.
宋雀，
师傅，
Master,
先前师傅没有舍得动手，
earlier I
咱
was
确实相
genuinely
当开
happy
心。
that you
毕
couldn't
竟
bring yourself to
谁不
act.
怕死呢？
I mean, who isn't afraid of death?
可是
But if we truly fail, And you,
而师傅
Master,
你
out
因
of
为怜
pity
惜
for
咱的性
me,
命，放弃了
beats
最
up
后
the
的必胜
final
法门，
card of
说
your
结局就像
sleeve.
寻梦者看见的那样。
If the
除
outcome
了
is
咱和
as
少数
entropy
人之外，
saw,
狼丘
where
所有
everyone
的
in
生命
Langqiu, except for a
都
few
有
of
机
us,
吃掉，
gets
师傅。
devoured by shadows.
你和
Master,
其余的
and you
树
and the rest of the shrews truly
真的能接
accept
受这样
such
的
an
结局
ending.
吗？
Silence. Faced with his disciples' questioning, the master fell into constant silence. However, time didn't allow him to ponder at length. So, in the end, he returned to being calm and decisive strategist, placing the weight of reason back on the scales. Aren't you afraid?
不感到害怕吗？
师
Master,
傅，
have you already
你忘
forgotten
了刚
how
刚进行仪
embarrassing
式
I
的时候，
looked
咱那副
during
丢
the
人现
rite
眼的样子
earlier?
啦？不过，
But how should I put
该
it?
怎么说呢？一回生，
Practice
两回
makes
熟。
perfect?
咱现在已经没有那么
I'm
害
not
怕
that，afraid now.
大概只
I'm
有之前的
probably
六
about
成，
60%.
不，
No,
3成
around
左右。
30% afraid compared to them.
再说了，
Besides,
一雷
the
之
rite of
役终究
tears
也只
is
是保
just a
险，
precaution.
只要用
So
师傅的
long
计
as
策
we
成功干掉
successfully
影子，
eliminate
那
the
咱
shadow
就
with
能
your
活蹦乱跳的回
strategy,
来了。
I'll come back bouncing with energy.
而且，
And
嘿嘿，
nothing.
不，
I just love everyone and the
反正
lively
咱
atmosphere
最
of
喜欢大家，
Langqiu.
也最喜欢廊丘的烟火气了。
为师明白了，
I understand.
就
Then, as you wish.
依你所言。
Moving closer, the master gently placed his steady hand on his disciple's shoulder, and in an instant, she felt a tremendous surge of comforting energy flowing into her and gradually solidifying. Master,
自这一刻起，
from this moment on,
便
you
由你来继
inherit the
承为师的
mantle I
衣钵，
passed down. Everything is now in your
一切
hands.
就都交付于你的手中了。
这是
Is this
七叔
the
的全部
complete
假
set
身，
of the seven shoes clones?
还有师傅的星辰环。
Your astral ring?
嗯。
Yes.
玉影七术
Venerable Seven
归于一
Shoes
法，
unite as the one law.
有了这套假
With the
身法，
support of this set of
即
clones,
便是只有
you
你一
alone
人
will be able to face the
赋予
previous seven
过去的
truths.
七术匹
The method to reactivate the zodiac
重新驱
astral
动黄
ring
道星辰环
is
的方
also
法
contained within.
也同样寓于其中。我原本只想将这套假
I
身传
only
交给你，
intended to pass the set of clones on to
但
you,
如今
but now
宋轩，我准许
I grant you the
在必
authority
要之时
to,
基于
when the
自己
time
的判断
comes, based on your own judgment,
以你我两片星辰环的
utilize
残
both your
余，
astral ring fragments and mine
发动一
to
雷之
perform
役，
the rite of tears,
结束关于
finally
影的一切
bring。an end to everything concerning the shadows.
是，师
Yes,
傅，
Master. I hope it never comes to
希望咱
that.
没有能用到他的机会。师傅，
Master, why are you
干
staring
嘛
at me
这样
like
盯着
that?
咱呀？
I'm not
咱这可不是
bluffing
突
or
然逞
anything.
能。
In the
说到底
end, I'm
还是
just
害怕
afraid
没
of
脸见
losing
家长
face
好
in
吧
front of my home folks.
咱虽然那么怕死，
Even though I'm
可是这
so
面子
afraid of death,
还是得要的。
I still care about my reputation.
为师只是在想，
I was just thinking,
或许你
maybe you
确实是
truly
寓意七术
are
在历
the
经百
hope
年的
that
绝
the
望
Venerable
后，
Seven Shoes have sought
最终寻觅到的希
after a
望。
century of despair.
不是因为你作为树的特
It's
性，
not because of your
也
nature
不
as
是
a
因为一雷之
true,
役的不可替
nor is it
代，
because the rite of tears is
而
irreplaceable.
是因为你作为一个人
It's because of the resilience you
本身所拥有的
possess
强
as
处
an individual.
啊，
Resilience?
承认？
Master, I don't understand what
师
you
傅，你
mean.
这话咱
Both
可就听不
Lantern
懂了。
and Miss
不管
Selima
是灯姐还
often
是
say I'm kind of spineless.
瑟利姆小姐，都常说咱的身子骨软趴趴的。啊，好像连多
Even
利多尔都觉
Donique
得他们
thinks
才硬
it's
气。
tougher than me.
不，
No,
尔时所说的
the
强人并不是
resilience
这
I'm referring to isn't that. It's fine. It's something you
无妨。
already possess.
但
There's
是
no
你已
need
然
for
拥
me
有
to
之物，
explain further.
倒也无需为师多此一举，向下阐释。或许
Perhaps. No, it's better not to reveal too
还
much.
是不要说破比较吉利。没什么，
Nothing.
时间
Time is
紧迫，
pressing.
徐
And
牧者
Entropy
他们
and the
早已出
others
发
have，already set
我们
off.
也不好让杀父
We
来救
shouldn't
的。
keep Zavori waiting.
好，
All
那
right,
咱这就
I'll
和灯
leave
姐一
with
起出发。
Lantern right away. By the
对了，
way,
师傅，
Master,
等咱圆满完成
after I
任务回来之
successfully
后，
complete the
您
mission
可
and
要带咱
return,
去琥珀
you
街
must
大玩
take
特
me to
玩。
Amber Street to
庆祝了隐
celebrate.
灾之后，
After
街
driving
上一
away
定
the
会举
Shadow
办前所
Calamity,
未有
there'll
的盛大
surely
庆
be
典
an
吧？
unprecedented
咱可一定不能错过。
celebration. I can't miss it. Sure, that's a
一言
promise.
为定。
真的吗？
Really?
那还
Then
得加上一顿大
we
餐。
also need a big feast.
你看，第一次
Didn't
见面
I
的时
say
候，
that the first
咱
time
好
we
像就说
met?
过，咱
I
可是
actually
相当
like the
喜
hustle
欢
and
烟火
bustle
气
a
的。
lot.
也不是一开始就对机械都感兴趣，只是偏偏认识一位太有教学热情的阿姨。
That's the old volume, Law of Revelation. It is widely known that the true meaning of the 7 truths lie in the 7 methods to subdue the 10 faces of
闲下来总
misery.
觉得不太安心。
However, some of you may have heard that initially they were referred more as the 7 truths and 1 law. At least at that time, people truly believed in the existence of this law from the bottom of their hearts. But over the course of a long time, people could never find any evidence of its existence. Even the evidence that once existed could only be dismissed as misunderstandings. Then, why did people initially believe in its existence? This perhaps brings us back to the essence of the truth. Those who, through some means, subdue fear and gain power from the shadows. Naturally, people felt that there might be individuals among them who could reach the end, meaning that they completely mastered the 10 phases of misery. They no longer needed to access power through methods, but could instead control its rules. Of course, this is just one interpretation. Some believe that, in fact, law was the existence that appeared in the world first, and the methods of the truth were distributed to everyone by that law after careful consideration. Objectively speaking, this notion is clearly nonsensical. Novel, The 7 Truths and 1 Law. Supplementary notes. Listen in the dim light. In summary, thanks to Maria's information, we've debunked previous speculations and unraveled the mystery of the lantern melody. Now let's talk about her 7 poles of transfixing shadows, better known as the 7 nails. After Langqiu's inception, the Shrewds expanded the influence of the pool of shadows using these nails, ensuring our land wouldn't be entirely consumed. Essentially, The power of the 7 shrews has always been sealed within the 7 nails. However, according to some rumors, they may contain other things besides power. If there's a chance, I'll add the strange vision seen by a resident later. This time, I want to explore a more credible exception. If you are familiar with my previous work, Curse in the Shadows, The Great Panic, 100-Year Chronicle, then you'll likely understand that since Lantern is so different from the other shrews, it's probably difficult for her to store power in the nails like them. So, are her 7 nails just a facade, or is our understanding incomplete? Hopefully, Miss Maria can bring us some new insights. Balanced heart. Midnight. The night was thick and silent, like a murky swamp that could drown. A person and a dog traveled in this night that was as bottomless as depth. A lantern suddenly lit up in the darkness. They stopped in their tracks and quickly realized that it was not a lantern, but a person. A person they were very familiar with. They toast. The woman with fluorescent hair raised her chin but kept her finger on the trigger, making it impossible to tell if it was a tired greeting or a warning before a bloody battle. Litos, however, only continued along his route that led toward the woman. The murderous intent from the 10 fists of misery amassed in silence and dissipated into nothingness a moment later. A racket stirred the stillness. It was a dog growing 2 tails, protesting loudly. "Hey, Litos, you... Can't you see? She's badly injured now. This is your best chance to... The woman shifted her cold, murderous glare from Donigwe to the man behind it. "It's right. I thought we were enemies." "We are not enemies. I'm not an enemy of anyone, including purely evil beings like the 10 sensations of shadows. Good and evil are not absolute. They change with your stance. A stance of balance is good. If good and evil are overturned, I do not mind doing evil for good to restore this balance." A long silence. Some time had elapsed before the woman spoke again, her voice as chilling as the night wind. "I understand." She raised her gun and slowly pulled the trigger. At the same time, cold steel flashed. Gunfire and sword swing resounded like thunder. Then the sound of shadows dissipating followed. The two of them eliminated the danger that lurked behind each other nearly simultaneously. "Don't be surprised." The woman withdrew her gun coldly. "I didn't fire at you because I knew either of us wanted to fight. But one day, I will shoot the sinister dog dead." Litos didn't answer. They weren't as dagger drawn. But what just happened wasn't a gesture of goodwill either. He realized that this woman was his opposite. She disregarded the ideology of good and evil altogether, because she had attained personal balance. If times were normal, perhaps her choice would have been right. A shame, really. The man mused in regret. A shame that good and evil had long been skewed by the shadows. Or perhaps this was how they were meant to be. One day, we will know who is in the right when we must fight each other to death. But you made a move. You broke the balance. Even so, are you still sticking to your gun? Litos didn't immediately give her the answer she demanded. He picked up Donigwe and walked on, despite its struggling and barking. As long as oppositions exist in the world, there is balance. As for you and I, we are but one of them.
来找我
You're here to see me? What's the matter?
什么事？
Hey, wait, Lucia's still standing there. You met Lucia? Yes, she's my daughter. She doesn't have any friends, but if you're up for chatting with her sometime, it would really make her day. Please consider this a father's request.
搞点事装吧。算了，就是也是一项很重要的除了我，没有更合适的人选了吗？
Aura. Ajita sat in Baiji's parlor, calmly sipping tea. It's white spring tea, a local specialty of Oxia, and priceless in Langqiu. But the tea had already cooled and become bitter. Ajita didn't mind the bitterness. A discerning collector, she had been invited as a guest of the nobility and pursued the markets looking for something that catches her eye. But treasure needs time before its true splendor is revealed, and she was always patient. She heard footsteps from beyond the door, prompting her to put down her tea and raise an eyebrow in disbelief. You're late, Master Baiji. Or are you trying to tell me you've got something good for me this time and are deliberately keeping me in suspense? I'm not one to make up stories. I just don't know the schedule for this particular item, so I've been delayed for a bit. But there's one thing you're right about. It's definitely something good. In fact, I have reason to suspect that its presence here in Langqiu is a bit of a blessing in itself. Ajita was still, sizing up the man that stood before her. He was not a parvenu with shallow taste, and not a naive, spoiled child of a rich family. She trusted his eye, and so was all the more amazed by his discovery. I've been hunting for treasure for decades, and have gotten my hands on quite a collection. And even if I don't own it, I at least know of it. So, what is this thing that you've got? A star. A star? She couldn't help but chuff as though hearing the fantasies of some child. You ought to know, covering Langqiu's canopy is nothing but... How does a star fall into your hands? Just look. He held out his hands. A piercing light blossomed from his palm. Ajita could see a ring of radiant star. It was a star by name, with the form of a ring. Only the name star could truly describe its radiance. Ajita let out a sigh of relief at the sight of the precious treasure. She reached out her hand. The brilliant light, however, dispersed as Baiji put back his palm. How is it? With an eye like yours, you ought to know I tell the truth. I didn't expect you to have such a precious treasure. I wonder if you'd be willing to part with it. I could share a little known secret with you in exchange. I'm sorry, but it's falling into my hands for another purpose. From your reaction, I can see my guess is not unfounded. Oh? I'm going to use it to make something never before seen. A human god.